Welcome if you're new here, welcome back if not. My name is Kenzie, this is my book channel, and today I am sharing my 10 before the end. The 10 books I want to read before, like the main 10 books I want to read before the end of 2025. So, I have some hot cocoa, and I decided it would make me happy, so I took a sip. Anyway, so like I said, I'm going to be sharing the 10 books I want to get to before the end of this year. I'm not counting full series in this. It might be the beginning of a series, the end of a series. Yeah, but like I'm not going to say full series. Like Harry Potter, yes, I do want to get to that before the end of this year, but it's not. If I said that would take up at least 7, and so this video would be like 2 minutes long. How do I know? Because I literally just hit a minute. So anyway, so yeah. I have 8 of the books sitting right here. They're all the physical copies. And then there are 2 on Kindle Unlimited I really, really want to read before the end of the year. One of which wasn't even on my 2025 TBR at the beginning. Honestly, a couple of these weren't. But now they are. But one of them I didn't think I wanted to read, but then I was like, I kind of want to read it though. One of my friends read it and she absolutely loved it, so. But anyway, let's get into the physical books first. So you're gonna recognize 1, 2, 3, 4 of these from my October TBR, which it's still October, so I still have time to get to them in this month. 3 of them are books from a several months ago TBR, and I keep trying to film a very specific video for them, but with the other videos I've been doing or just needing a break from certain things, I haven't read them yet, but hopefully I will soon. And then I also want to say that I'm probably not going to do a November or December TBR, just so that way I have time to get to these books and also do a few other videos that I just really want to do that require me to not have a set TBR. Well, I guess technically for one of the videos I do have a set TBR, but not really. Point is, not doing TBR jar picking any type of TBR video for those months. Okay, anyway. So the first book is going to be The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. I've heard so many good things about this. Really want to read it. I keep saying that and then I never get to it. And the thing is, like, it's so big and I'm scared. Because it's like, how big is it? How many pages? 564 pages. So, you know, she's kind of chunky. You know, she's not as heavy as, like, A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin, though, thankfully. But A, she's gorgeous, and also it's a historical fiction. And here's the thing is, I have always hated history class. Like, it never interested me. But something I'm learning is that if I am going to learn history, it has to be, like, told like a story. You know, it can't just be told to me like facts. It has to be told like a story. And then if I want to look deeper into it, I can, you know? So that's what I'm kind of learning with me and learning history. So I'm thinking this will make me like history a little bit, or at least whatever history is happening in here. With courage, grace, and powerful insight, best-selling author Kristin Hannah captures the epic panorama of World War II and illustrates an intimate part of history seldom seen, the Women's War. The Nightingale tells the stories of 2 sisters separated by years and experience by ideals, passion, and circumstance, each embarking on her own dangerous path towards survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. A heartbreakingly beautiful novel that celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the durability of women. It is a novel for everyone, a novel for a lifetime. That sounds super interesting to me, honestly. So I'm really excited for it. And I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be a major motion picture. Has that already come out? Like, has it? Okay. So that is one that I really want to get to. Plus, just like the vibes of the cover give winter to me. I don't know why, but it does. So, all right. Next is The Last Days of Holly Hayes. Honestly, the thing that intrigued me about this is that it's a story where when we get certain parts, it'll be like, go to this chapter next, or okay, dear reader, you have now read Holly's story and her version of events on the mountain. From this point on, choose what you want to read next. Read Dylan's story. In that case, go to page 179 of the book. Finish Dylan's story already and want to read his version of the events on... I'm speaking way too fast and I keep fumbling over my words. Finish Dylan's story already and want to read his version of events on the mountains, go to page 266. Finish Dylan's story and his version of the events on the mountain, go to page 315 to read what happens next. One way or the other, whatever you choose, you must read both storylines to get the complete picture of what happened. So you can read this multiple different ways, and apparently it'll still make sense. So, it says, when college students Holly and Dylan fall in love, life is wonderful for a while. There's just one big problem. Holly has no idea that Dylan's parents are doomsday preppers, and that he's been living a life drenched in fear. Months later, Dylan realizes he can no longer hide the truth from Holly, and so he takes her to his small Montana hometown for a hiking trip. But the worst case scenario unfolds. Dylan is warned that the world is about to end. The problem? Holly still has no clue about who and what Dylan is. Panicking, Dylan forces Holly to seek shelter high up in the mountains. He locks her in against her will, determined to save her life. But is there really an end of the world disaster going on, or is this just another false alarm? I don't know. It seems like it's going to be like serious, but also kind of like a silly, goofy, fun time. And also, again, there's multiple different ways you can read this. It's not just a cover to cover type of book. And that's intriguing to me. So the girl who I learned about this book from, I don't even remember who she was. It was just a random video I saw on TikTok. The way she had it, you could read it, like this, or you turn the book like this and you could read it, but my copy doesn't do that. It just tells me where to go. Next is Caraval. I really want to start the series, get into the series. I did read a little bit of it once, but I didn't actually buy it at the time. It was just like a little, I think the first chapter was free thing. So, but I want to read it so bad. And also I think it's so pretty, especially after I put gems on it. So, anyway, so that's a series I really want to start and then continue in 2026. So, first book, this one tells me nothing. Oh, it's on the inside. That makes sense. That makes sense. There's way more to read on this, and we've already, and by we I mean me, I've already been fumbling over my words way too much, so I'm not going to read the synopsis of this, but honestly, it's a very popular book talk book. If you don't know anything about this book, I'm surprised. And you're also not alone, because come to think of it, I don't think I know that much about this book. I know it's like two sisters, and they go to Caraval, and it's supposed to be like games and stuff, but they're kind of deadly or something like that. I mean, it says at the top, remember, it's only a game, so I don't know. Alright, next I want to go ahead and finish up the Maple Hill series, and I want to read Daydream by Hannah Grace. The books are Icebreaker, Wildfire, and Daydream. Wildfire, I love that one. I think he gave it like a 4.5 or something like that. Icebreaker, I didn't love. I heard someone refer to it as like kind of Wattpad-y, which, yeah, honestly, I get it. It's honestly kind of Wattpad-y. But Wildfire was really, really cute. And I like how they handled certain situations. So I'm excited to read this one too. So this one, when his procrastination lands him in a difficult class with his least favorite professor, Henry Turner knows he's going to have to work extra hard to survive his junior year of college. And now with his new role as captain of the hockey team, Henry absolutely cannot fail. Enter Hallie. Hallie makes the most sense. Enter Hallie Jacobs, a fellow junior whom Henry befriends when he accidentally crashes her book club. Okay. Hallie may not have the romantic pursuits of her favorite fictional leads or the experiences for the novel she's trying to write, but she's an academic superstar, and as soon as she hears about Henry's problems with his class, she offers to help. Okay. So I think I love a good, like, falling in love with your tutor story. Like, there are a lot of stories and tropes that I like that a lot of people don't. But it also depends on how well it's done. Because if it's done really bad, no, I'm not gonna like it. But if it's done well, I love it. So let's see if this one is the one that makes me be like, oh my gosh, I love Hannah Grace's writing, or if it's the one where I'm like, okay, out of 3 books of hers, I found one that I like. So we'll just have to see. Okay, next is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This I'm actually borrowing from a friend, so I kind of need to get it read super soon so I can return it. But yeah, it's a very popular BookTok book, and it's one, honestly, I just want to see if I like Emily Henry's writing. Some of my favorite booktubers have said that they love Emily Henry and that she's just like, you know, the queen of BookTok or whatever. So Augustus Everett is an acclaimed author of literary fiction. January Andrew. I'm sorry. January? Her name is January? Or his? I don't know. January Andrews writes best-selling romance. When she pens a Happily Ever After, he kills off his entire cast. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months, they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with the writer's block. Okay. Then one hazy evening, one thing leads to another, and they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. She'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage. Did I just say montage? Montage, my goodness. And he'll take her to interview surviving members of a backwoods death cult. Obviously, everyone will finish a book, and no one will fall in love. Really? See, now I'm even more intrigued, because I knew one of her books had something along those lines where they're both writers, but they're polar opposites. I just didn't realize it was this book. So, and I've heard that if you're going to get into the Emily Henry universe, either Beach Read or what is the other one? Book Lovers? Maybe? I don't know, either Beach Read or another one are like the best ones to start with. So the next one. So we have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one, a girl who is like completely bored. I'm sorry, what? What were you trying to say, Kenzie? Completely broke, like super poor, you know, all that. She's just living her life trying to get through high school when all of a sudden she gets a letter, kind of. She gets told that she has inherited this random dude's mansion, money, all that. The only thing is she has to live in the mansion for X amount of time for her to get it. And her family's like, what the heck? Or his family, the guy who is no longer alive. His family's like, what the heck? Like, why does she get all of this? Why don't we? Like, we're his family. She's just some random girl. Is she a con artist? Like, what the heck is happening? And so she has to figure out why in the world she got all this money. So, yeah. And honestly, because of a video I'm working on and have been for the past several months, I'm actually already on chapter 26. And so far, I'm really liking it. And I'm definitely going to get done before the end of this year. Hopefully, actually. I should not have said definitely. It's more of a hopefully. Next, also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, is The Naturals. So I'm not too worried about getting into The Naturals series as a whole before the end of the year, or finishing it before the end of the year, but definitely at least the first book and starting the series. So this one is the FBI needs help with cold cases, so they recruit a bunch of teenagers. And the thing is, all these teenagers have their own special gifts. Like, one's really good at math, one's really good at problem solving, da 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 da. And it is a 4-book plus a novella series. I've heard so many good things about this series. It's YA, as well as this one. And they're just, I've heard they're just fun, like easy little reads, which is good because I'm kind of scared to do Bad Blood because that's the last book in the series. And she's thick, right? Like, she's thick. But to be fair, this also has the novella in it, so Bad Blood itself might not even be that bad. The last of my physical books that I want to get to before the end of the year is a little scary because of how big it is. But it is also a popular book talk book. And I definitely want to try at least the first book and then maybe eventually the series. But that would be Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This one is 21-year-old Violet Sorrengail. We're going to go with that. Was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her tough as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarra. How do you pronounce this word? But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away because dragons don't bond to fragile... What did I almost pronounce that as? Fragile humans. They incinerate them, not incarcerate. Do I know how to read? Because I'm struggling tonight, apparently. It's almost bedtime, apparently. With fewer dragons willing to bond the candidates, most would Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would her just for being her mother's daughter. Like Xaden. Not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name. The most powerful and ruthless ringleader in the writer's quadrant. Okay, point is, nepotism, she doesn't want to do this, but she's going to have to. Because I can't with words right now, apparently. But anyway, that is another book. Okay, so on Fourth Wing I bought last year. Let me just check of these. Okay, last year, but it was in like the last week of December, so we're gonna count it at the beginning of this year. Beginning of this year. Not actually mine, borrowing it. Beginning of this year. Last year. Birthday present, so beginning of this year. And beginning of this year. So, at least 2 of these are books that I should really focus on finishing this year because I bought them last year. So I should probably go ahead and get those done. Anyway, and then the last 2 books are actually on Kindle Unlimited, and that is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the beginning of the Boys of Tommen series, or Tommen. Not really sure how to pronounce that either. But I've heard really good things about this series. Like, anytime I hear someone talking about them, they are raving about it, whether they're closer to my age, so like 20, 21, somewhere in there, or more into their like 30s. I will hear at least one person a week talking about this series, especially on TikTok. So, but I've just heard so many good things about the series, and I hear so many people just being like, this is the best series ever. Like, you have to read it. You have to. And honestly, I'm down to try it. Like, at least the first 2, which is Binding 13 and Keeping 13. The 10th, I almost said 3rd. Why 3rd? But the 10th and final book I want to read before the end of the year is Quicksilver by someone. It's like Callie something, I don't know. the cover of the book should be somewhere here, so you should be able to see it. This is a book that one of my friends actually got for her birthday, and she loved it. And supposedly, my goodness, there's supposed to be another book coming, and this is supposed to be it's supposed to turn into a movie adaptation, I think. So I really want to read the book before I even think about watching the movie. So, but yeah, I know nothing about this, and I obviously don't have it in front of me to be able to look at it. So anyway, so yeah, that is my 10 before the end, even though this was like really chaotic. But hey, at least it wasn't only 2 minutes long. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, I'm not going to do any set TBRs for November or December. And then we'll start the TBRs back up in January. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited for what these last several weeks of this year are looking like, especially for my reading journey and everything. And yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!